apologies that it's a bit late, and also even more apologies if the lighting is actually poor in this video, but I've been at work and therefore I've only just literally been able to get a chance now to react to the win. Fantastic, great result. Even though Plymouth were 22nd in the league, I was a little bit apprehensive going into the game because they'd won 3 of their last 5, I believe, and they'd won their last 2 games against Scunthorpe and Gillingham, I believe. So correct me, Plymouth fans, if I'm wrong. And it was 0-0 half time. I was able to keep track of the first half, but my shift started at 4 o'clock, so I couldn't actually focus on the second half. I don't know what was going on with it, but I have seen the 2 goals, however. McGeady's first one, absolute cracker. And I will mention that to those who are mentioning, I know Pete said this a few times, that we want to try and get rid of McGeady in January. I completely disagree with that. I think that he's one that, yes, he can be frustrating in terms of his work ethic, and obviously, you know, people would probably be right to be surprised that I'm not for the idea of selling him, because I'm all about players giving a shit and actually giving their all. But to me, it's like, he's got that quality. For League One, he's got far too much quality in his locker for the rest of the division, and that is something that has to be considered. I think that if you look at his first goal today, that's just evidence of that. He managed to control the shot, and he managed to sort of, you know, bend it into the bottom corner. It was basically just far too much for the Plymouth players to handle. Obviously, he took his penalty quite well, but to me, I would not entertain the idea of selling him. Certainly not this season. Maybe if we get to the summer, possibly, but you know, for me, he's a championship player playing in League One. Why wouldn't you keep him? I understand the work ethic issue, but I think if you've got, but today it probably proved that if you've got players around him that's doing that, you know, then he's got that ability to unlock a defence, especially because Madge has now gone up. Madge Boo boy saying he's actually try and, you know, they'll probably be sticking their nose into him now because he's going a bit of a goal drought, but look, it's still early days. It's still about, I think we've played 16 games. We've got 30 games of the season left to go, so we're pretty much a third of the way through the season. We've gone up into second, get in, which is absolutely fantastic. Slightly annoying that Portsmouth had to win and Barnsley won in the last minute, but apart from that, Peterborough lost. We went into second. We are 3 points still off top. Situation's the same as before. Still 3 points still off top with a game in hand as well. We can't really complain with that too much. And I think as well, getting first has to be the ambition of the club this season. At the very least, as I've said countless time again, get promoted. But today was a test and a half, and then we'll see what happens. Now, I want to leave you with a question, actually. I'm just trying to move the home phone so it actually doesn't blow over because it's quite windy. I'm going to leave you guys with a question. Would you actually be up for... Okay, that's the wrong word. Would you be as bothered if we got knocked out by Port Vale? Now, I'm going to make an argument here. I put a poll to a Wise Men Say podcast earlier in the week, and Nick Barnes obviously replied to it on the podcast, that is. And he was pretty much a stubborn no. He doesn't want to sacrifice a cup run. And yes, I get it. Financially, it does do Sunderland very, very well. I can understand that. I just think that in the long run, going into the remainder of the second half of the season, we don't want to get fixture congestions. We've already had one fixture moved to be a later confirmed date as it is. We don't want any more to be happening. Look, don't get me wrong. I don't want us to actively go and lose to Port Vale, but I'm just saying I personally wouldn't be as bothered if we got knocked out. You know, would I be happy if we're lost? Obviously, I wouldn't be happy to see us lose a game, but that would be the closest I would come to being content with dealing with a loss. Because to me, the League One's far more important than the FA Cup this season. I can argue Wigan last year with their FA Cup run. They won the league and they got the FA Cup quarter-finals, I believe, because they beat Man City along the way, if you remember that last season. So who knows, maybe if that's an omen, then get to the quarter-finals, Sunderland, by all means. But to me, I just think there's bigger fish to fry this year. I think that League One is much more important. You know, if we win, good. Into the next round, you know, really with the quality of squad we've got, we should get to round 3 relatively easily without any problems. But look, I'm saying I wouldn't be that bothered if we got knocked out. But there you go, maybe that's just me. Anyways, look, we're into second today. McGeady's on fire at the moment. And yeah, hopefully we can get into first soon. And the last thing is, I actually don't know whether the Wycombe Wanderers game will be called off, because last time we obviously had a few players called up for international duty, and then the Blackpool game was called off, so the Wycombe game might be the same. Hence why for me it was vital to win today, just in case that game is called off, and then straight away, even if Portsmouth win during the next international break, then even if they win, we're 1 point behind. I think is it 1 point or 2 points behind them with 2 games in hand. So that's vital. Anyway, guys, I've rambled on. I'll love yous and leave yous there. We're up to second. Hopefully we get to first and stay there. Catch you and see yous later. Bye.